and welcome to That Squirrel Speaks. Today is Tuesday, February 22nd. It's almost March. Everyone wish time away, but oh my gosh, it's almost March. March. Where are you, March? March is all tricky because you think it's going to be exciting in spring like it never is, but at least it's not February. Hi, how are you? I'm Amy Beth, also known as the Fat Squirrel on Ravelry, and the Fat Squirrel SQRRL on Instagram. How are you? I don't even know what I'm talking about. My husband's in here, like milling around. It's totally distracting me. So you probably just heard his keys jangle. That's how he doesn't sneak up on me anymore. Keys are jangly. So I apologize if I'm slightly more squirrel than usual. I know, right? Is that possible? Probably not. So anyway, shenanigans. I don't think there are any. It's tricky. I'm all in like future shenanigan mode. Are you in future shenanigan mode? Let's plan all the shenanigans. I want to do all the things. Knitting pipeline retreats coming up. Yay. And then I have crazy wackadoodle plans for all of the hiking vacations. Maybe nobody else in this house is on board with me, but I'm still fantasizing. Do you remember last year when the Froggy Monkey and the DJ Knits a Lot of the Knitting and Sparkles? The Knitting and Sparkles. The Knitting and Circles podcast. Went to the state parks in Tennessee. I've been like image Googling them all over the place. Not the humans, the parks. I've been image Googling. That would be creepy. I've been image Googling the parks. Like, oh my God, we gotta go there. I'm all, again, I'm on the weird, if you're new to the show, I really enjoy the camping. I've been doing the crazy, like, what is the tow capacity of my 2000 Chrysler Voyager? It's only 2,000 pounds, by the way. Mere. Guess what? All of the pop-up trailers produced after like 1997 weigh more than 2,000 pounds. Makes sense. It's like a 4-cylinder engine. I can only imagine us trying to haul a pop-up trailer up like a mountain into the sea, and then my husband being like, honey, could you just get out and push a little bit because we're not going to make it. Tie up the dog to the front. All 17 pounds of her muscle and power can maybe make us get over this ridge, but that would not be good. But anyway, so I'm still fantasizing. Gotta do it. It's like the gardening fantasy. I don't have the gardening fantasies. I mean, I do, but not for realsies. It's the vacation fantasies. Camping, the breathing the real air fantasies. Gosh, air. That doesn't hurt to breathe. That would be novel, right? Anyway, so that's what the shenanigans have been. They've been no real shenanigans. I did do something. Oh, I'm really hoping we can go do some sugar syrup things tomorrow. Not tomorrow. This is Tuesday. This weekend. Some of our parks in Indianapolis have trees tapped. Did I tell you that? Oh, I didn't tell you that. The other weekend, when it was a balmy 12 degrees, we went to a local park and they had a bunch of trees tapped for maple syrup. Like at least 30, I would guess. And they even had some of the, like, so that's like the traditional bucket tap, you know, with like the bucket. But then they also had some of them like on the tubing tap where there's just like a, what do we call that? That's a word, and it's in Hunger Games. Do you remember what it is? The word for the thing that goes into the tree that taps the sap out. Anyway, like it's a tap, but there's a special word for it. Anyway, they have just the tap, and then they're attached to hosing, and then the hosing all empties into one centralized vessel for the later sugar syrup production. I guess it's not really sugar syrup, but the maple syrup. So I'm very excited about that. We'll see how it does. Hopefully that'll be good. But that's all that's happening. Yeah, it's winter. We got some snow. There was sledding. That was good. But that's really all that's happening. So it's all future shenanigans mode. I know you're right there with me, aren't you? Totally. Let's talk about knitting and spinning, because I have some of that to show you. Let's do it. I finished spinning. This, if you recall last time, Not that you need to. There's no test. No pressures. Last time I was spinning some Three Waters Farm Polar Silk. This is in the brown velvet colorway, and I got 330 yards of a 2-ply, which is about a sport, which is what I was hoping for. And it's very lovely, because Three Waters Farm always is, and this, as I discussed last time, is my favorite kind of purple that involves very little blue, mostly browny grays. Oh, it's so pretty. I didn't do, not that my spinning is that great, because it really does not look that great. But whatever, it'll be fine when it's knit up. It'll be fine. And it was very pleasant to spin. I like this polar silk. So yay that. Do I need to tell you anything else? I don't think so, right? It's kind of nice and shiny because of the silk. I'm just going to keep throwing this at the camera because I don't know what else to do. Throw it at you. And it's not really, it's a little bit richer than that in the real lives. It's a little bit washed out there, but whatever. So there's that. And then I'm spinning some, I forgot to bring the tag over. I know, right? Surprise. Then I'm spinning some of this craziness. This is Spun Right Round, Tarhi, and Snow Pants colorway. Because really in February, you know, I should just make it a rule. In like February and March, I should only spin crazy colored stuff. And Spun Right Round is good for that. And I do mean crazy in a good way, because I'm not a self-hater. I am crazy, and I consider that a good thing. I also consider crazy colors a good thing. So, you really, this is not the, well, this is really all the colors that are in it. Oh, here's the, oh, I didn't bring it over. I knew I was going to forget something. I meant to bring over the actual top to show you, but I forgot. I have to mess up at least one thing. But anyway, so it's this crazy, I love this crazy, fun orange. Isn't that the best? And this purpley blue is so good. And then there's hot pinky orange, and then the dirty snow. Isn't it good? And there's clean snow too, but you're just seeing the dirty snow. So I'm just sitting that bulky, like not really paying attention too much, just as a funsy thing to do. And I'm enjoying it quite a lot. Yeah. Although I am in a weird, I'm not weird. I am in a like crazy knitting, I want to knit all of the things thing. All of the shawls specifically. I've not really been on a shawl kick in a long time. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing a Ricky hat. It's R-I-K-K-E. I apologize. You should know the designer by now. I have like 3 of these things. This one is Handspun, and I have no idea what it is. It's 2-ply of something or other. But I love it quite a bit. It was lost for a long time. Well, it wasn't lost because for it to be lost would imply that I knew I did not have it in my current possession. I totally just forgot about it. I was going through my sock bin and I was like, oh, there's a hat in here. What? Okay. I found it. Yay, new hat. Anyway, and so now I'm enjoying it quite a lot. And also I have the worst hair ever. It's bad when your hair is so bad that not only do you need a hat, but you also need to push it all behind your ears. That's bad hair. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, I want to knit all the shawls. I wonder what's about. I guess it's been cold enough to like wear them just as accessories lately. Maybe. I don't know what it is, but I don't know. I just want to knit all of the shawls. All of them. I have a sweater that I haven't touched in like 2 weeks. It's just sitting like all forlornly in the basket. I mean, I'll work on it again, but it's not getting any love as of late. I think that's the other thing. It's that time of year when you're just slumpy and you don't need long-term projects right now. Or at least I don't. Like now is a really good time for quicker 2 skeins or less projects because I'm just done. Want to go, I'm going to steal a pop-up trailer and a car powered full enough to drive it somewhere. I'm just going to go in the mountains. I'm done. So that's where I'm at. That's where my head is. Not here. Out there. So that's spinning. Yay, spinning. Oh, but so I'm not going to know spinning because I want to know all the things. So let's talk about finished objects. I forgot something. Okay, I'll be right back. So since I had to go get that, I might as well show you this, right? So this is the bobbin I just showed you. This is what it looks like in top. Now this is just a 1/6 of the braids. This is a 4-ounce braid. So there it is, so fluffy. It's Tarhi, which is very fun. I've never done Tarhi fine, but I think I should try. The next time I have some, that I want to make into like a lacy thing. I think I should try to do it fine because it has a lot of, it's super soft, but it has that tooth like creme brulee has that, like, it must be scaly. Like it has a lot of grab, and that makes sense. It's not particularly shiny. It's got a little sheen, but whatever. It's very toothy, and again, I don't mean that in a scratchy way. It just has that, it wants to hold on to the other fibers, so it might be really fun to do fine. But anyway, so this is what it's like. Look at this great pink. Oh, you can't tell the magic. Oh, camera, you're a liar. You can't even, not even nearly good enough. Whatever. It's not good enough. But that's spun right round Tarhi. And she does a lovely job. I think this is a club colorway. Pretty sure. Okay, so this is actually why I got up to show you. I haven't finished job yet. And you didn't even see it in work in progress mode. These are the lambing mitts. Let me see if I can pick this up with my toes. I have socks on. Oh, I did it. These are the lambing mitts, and I was trying to remember who the designer was. I thought I wrote that down like a good and responsible human being, but apparently not. That's what happens when I had every intention of podcasting last week, and then things just happened. Like I was all set and ready to go, and then just did not come together. But these are the lambing mitts, and I knit them out. They are actually, it's a free pattern, and it's on Tolt, T-O-L-T, Tolt Yarn Company's blog. So it is not a free Ravelry download, but it is on their blog. They're called The Lambing Mitts, and they are by Veronica Jobe, J-O-B-E. And the pattern is, did I say this already? The pattern is written with Peace Fleece as the yarn. So I may have a little bit of Peace Fleece in my life. I may have bought enough to make a blanket or two. So one of them is slated to finish that darn blanket, but it's all in its bag. But then there's a cool set, like a blues set that I got for my husband to do a blanket for him. Don't tell them, because I'm never going to do it. So I have maybe a little bit of Peace Fleece. And this actually is Peace Fleece that I used from that blanket on my stroker cardigan. So this is Peace Fleece in the Kamchatka sea moss, not the kombucha, the Kamchatka, Kamchatka sea moss. And this is one of the colors I used on my stroker cardigan. But anyway, I totally dig these mitts. They're super fast. I made them in like 2 evenings. And this is the reason I like them so much. They fold down like this for when you're like unlocking your car or whatever, if you need more dexterity. But then you can flip them up like this, and then you're very easy to get your fingers like hidden down in there when it's very frosty. Also, mostly I just wear them exactly like this. Because you can still, again, you can still do your buttons or your zippers or your keys or whatever, but you're mostly covered. I love them. And you don't need fingers, which I'm opposed to on all counts. So yay, those. As soon as I saw the pattern, I knew that I immediately had to have them. As soon as I saw it come up on Instagram, I cast them on, I think, the next day. So they take less than a skein of Peace Fleece, which is technically, I think, on Ravelry and Aran weight. And what else do I need to say? I think that's all. They were fun to make. I made the largest size. I have big hands. Big lady. Mm-hmm. Oh, the only other thing I did different is that when I got to the garter, see the garter at the top? I did decrease 3 stitches evenly around because this sometimes has a tendency to be baggy on mitts, this top bit, and I don't like that. I find it very frustrating to have that floppiness around. So I decreased 3 stitches. And I did not do, the pattern suggests that you do like the Judy Surprisingly Stretchy Bind Off. I did not do that one. I did a suspended bind off. No, I didn't even do a suspended bind off. I just did a plain bind off. Because again, I do not like it when the top is too stretchy and floppy. And there's still enough give that it rolls down just fine. So, yay. There are those. And then I also finished
my Ruxton shawl. And that is by D. O'Keefe. Ruxton, Ruxton shawl by D. O'Keefe. And I made mine out of the Copper Cordy Fiber Company's Jones Street Sport and the Goldenrod colorway, and I had 2 skeins. It's really pretty. And this yarn is an alpaca blend. I'm sorry, I don't have the... Oh, I forgot to trim ends. These are woven in, I just forgot to trim them after I blocked in everything. Right. So here it is. Look at this. I love the big border. Right. Oh, I love it. It's just a little bit of lace, not anything complicated. I really like geometric lace. I also really like garter stitch laces. So yay. It kind of looks like acorns, right? I don't know that I would have thought that if it weren't browny gold, but it totally looks like acorns. Okay. I love it. This yarn was very pleasant to work with. I recommend it. The color is gorgeous. It has a it's like what do we call those? Like a humbug, where it has a brown and a cream, obviously, in the undyed yarn, and then the gold over top of it is just good. It's good. So yay. I think I did everything as indicated, except I was greedy. And I put one more section of this, one more repeat of this lace, because I thought I was going to have extra yarn. Of course I didn't. You know I'm going to go for that. So I put in an extra repeat because really, I'm trying to find my skein change. It was like, I was like, oh, I'm going to have plenty of yarn. I can't find where I did my skein. Oh, there it is right there. So my skein change was right before I switched to the bottom border. So I thought, oh, I'm going to plenty. Do an extra repeat. No, of course not. It's not a terrible thing. All I had to do was the bottom had another row of garter, I think. And it had a picot bind off, which I had plans to do. So I missed a row of garter and a picot bind off. Life will go on. I did really like the way the picot looked, though. So I would have done it if I had enough yarn, but I did not have enough yarn. It was very close. So I'm very pleased with it. I really like how it turned out. Again, I really loved that bottom lace. It was just enough lace to make it interesting and to move you on, but not overly complicated. It was very easy to read, you know, the whole shebang. It is charted. I believe it's also written, but pretty sure it's written and charted, but I only look at the charts, so. I totally like it. Stop looking at me. My husband just looked at me. Anyway, what's the next thing? Okay, so the next things are all in progress. How much have I been talking? Oh, I paused. I was like, 8 minutes. I'm doing wonderfully. How did that happen? Wrong. Okay, so what have you seen? Have you seen any of these things? Oh my lord. Yes, you've seen this thing. I'll show you very briefly. This is my Beeswax hat by Amy Vandelar, and this is in the Leading Men Fiber Arts Dramaturge base, the Copper Cloud colorway. Hey, I remembered all those things. High five. Holy crap, look at it. Oh my gosh, it's not even close to showing you how pretty this yarn is. This, I think, is my favorite colorway of theirs that I've worked with. It is, that last green was really pretty though too, but this is so gorgeous. I love it. It's taking forever, but I'm okay with that because it's so pretty. But it is a cross every row for all these dudes, so it takes forever. Stitch pattern is not difficult, but you cable it every stinking row. She has a suggestion for how to do it without a cable. Like, she has a twisty method. Not that I hate that method, I just don't care for that method. So I just cable without a cable needle because it's just one stitch crosses the whole shebang. But isn't it cute? I don't know that I'll ever make another one, but I really dig this one. And I love how she did the ribbing into the cable with every other. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's going to be so cool. See, can you see it? It's going to be beautiful. I may never take it off. It may be July. Oh, I keep looking at it. They did a great job on the colorway. Okay. And that is in a bag, which is from, I always get so confused. I know, right? You're like, surprise, crazy person. Stitched by Jessica Lou does the bees, right? She's the bee girl. She's the bee gal. But, so I needed this fabric. I'll be honest with you, I tried to find some of this fabric for myself because I wanted to make aprons and covers for my toaster and stuff. Because it's this great homesteady fabric. Right, there's a spinning wheel, there's an apron and an iron and like a wonderful axe and a jar and a peck bucket and oh my gosh, so many things. I totally want to make all of the things for my kitchen out of this so bad, but I can't figure out what fabric it is. If somebody wants to tell me, I promise I won't make bags out of it. Promise. I just want it for my own, but I can't find it. Isn't it cute? Oh, there's knitting on it. Look, do you see that? There's totally knitting on it. I want it. There's like a baby thing. No more babies. Dang it. Oh, I love it. It's so good. I kind of want this as a tattoo. Just this dang picture. I don't know what it is about that I love so much. It's got a well pump. Come on. Sorry, I just hit you. I'm so excited. My love is rough. Ask my family, they'll tell you. Okay, so other things to show you. Okay, these are all things I have not shown you before. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be long as forever. And I'm not even blathering about other stuff. Okay, so. Oh my gosh. What have I done? Okay, there we go. I am knitting some Dark Matter Knits Franken fingers. So again, Franken fingers by Dark Matter Knits. They're specifically like a little glove, fingerless glove. Now I do mean actually like not a mitt, but like an actual glove. There's fingers knit in. Fingerless glove pattern by Dark Matter Knits, and they are specifically written for shelf striping. Sometimes we call it self striping. Okay, so I knit a pair of these for my husband. Well, I knit them for me out of Sadie's yarn, out of Knitter's Nightmare yarn last year, and my husband stole them because he's a stealer. And we constantly have this battle about how he always wants gloves, but he tears them up like so bad. Oh, terrible. And you know what a pain in the neck it is to knit like Nux? Because you did them really in a tight gauge, you're gonna knit all these fingers. There's a 700 ends to weave in, and he just shreds them. Not that like he's doing it intentionally, but like he has his job is a little gross. So we have this constant like about the dang gloves. So I need to make him another pair. So my new method is that I'm only going to use sock yarn though from now on. Even if I just have to use fingering weight and double it, I'm no longer making any of them without nylon because it does hold up differently. I hope. But even those ones were saying for like an MCN and they held up way better. I made a pair with BFL because I thought, oh, that'll be better, right? Anyway, you don't need to know about that, right? Here's one of them. This is with Opal, and this is their 6-ply, right? Yeah, it's a 6-ply. And this I got from Simply Sock Yarn, and this is color 8356. Looks like that. And I just did them exactly as, so this is a sport DK, heavy sport, light DK yarn. And the Franken fingers are written for fingering weight. So, however, he has a man's hand, so I'm just doing the smaller size, and that seems to work out really well with this. And then the only other thing I did that was weird is I did use 2 strands on the bind off. I just suspended bind off. Because that's one of the places that they wear out there instantly. Like that's the first thing that they're gone. It's like this and then this area are so patched that's ridiculous. So anyway. So there's those. I have this one done and I have this much of this one done. So I'm about to start the finger, so it may sit in the bag for 6 years now. Because I hate doing the fingers. So these are cuff up. The Nux, if you've seen those are top down. They're both equally a pain in the neck. I don't prefer necessarily one over the other. They just both stink to make. So hopefully these work and last a little bit longer. If nothing else, it'll feel like they last longer because it's almost the springtime and they will be worn less. So it'll like at least trick me a little bit. Maybe. This is my beautiful bag by, of course, Joanna of Handspun Farm, who has French chickens, French roosters. Bags. She's awesome. Okay. And then, I know, right? They just keep coming. Just get a coffee. It's gonna be a minute. Or not. I'll see you later. Bye. Whatever. Whatever works for you. Okay, so then I've been freaking out a little bit about my yarn stash, so instead of just like not buying new stuff, I just buy it then cast on immediately. I've been wanting this stupid moon rover forever, and I have not justified purchasing it because I was like, oh, I don't, somehow it always works out that the color I want is not in the base I want. So I'm always like, oh, well, and finally I was just like, I'm done. I'm gonna buy it. So I got some Moon Rover Wild, and this is the Shipwreck base colorway. Excuse me, Shipwreck colorway. So it's just a 420 yard superwash merino, and I'm making a hitchhiker. So it's like the two things. I've never made a hitchhiker. Hitchhiker is by Martina Bim. So I've never made one, and then I've been wanting to use this yarn but never purchased it. So let's do it. It smells like lavender. So yeah, there's that so far. It's just a wee one still. You don't even, like, you've heard everybody else in the world make one of these. You don't really need me to talk about it. But it's very enjoyable. Garter stitch is always good. I'm knitting mine on US 3s, which are 3.25 millimeters. The pattern suggests the 3 millimeter, but I have a little bit less than what is indicated for yardage. So I just went up and, you know, it's a scarf. It'll be fine. So anyway, so here, I'm sitting myself in the face with, isn't that pretty? Oh, shut up. So pretty. It has these really great, like, tealy pops. Oh. So there's that. And then, I know, crazy just keeps coming. So then I've had this hand spun in my stash for a long time. It has to be over a year. I think this may be the first 3-ply I've ever done. I could be wrong about that, but it's, if it's not the first, it's close to it. And this was a CVM Rommeldale, so it's California Variegated Mutant. It's the worst name ever for a sheep breed. What were they thinking? But I loved this fiber. It was so pleasant to spin. It was just roving. It was gorgeous. I'll try to remember to put the link to the Etsy shop, or maybe I won't because I want to hoard it like a nasty wool dragon. But I'll try to remember to put the link in the... Actually, no, I won't, because I'm not actually confident of which company I bought it from, or which Etsy seller I bought it from. I'm actually no longer confident. But it's Rommeldale, and it was gorgeous. It was lovely to work with. So I did a 3-ply, and I think this is like 10 ounces. I'm not sure. It's more than, it's at least 8. It might be 12. I know I could weigh it. Shush. I'm not going to. Back off. Anyway, so I've had it in my stash for a really long time, and of course I have like weird, do you do this where you're just like, I gotta use it all up. I can't make hats out of it or anything crazy like that because I have to use it all up at once, right? I don't really want to make a cowl out of it because it is a bulky. It's like 450 yards of a bulky. And so I don't want to make a cowl out of it because I don't really like bulky cowls. Like worsted is kind of my limit on the cowl. And someone's like, it's just been sitting there, right? For some reason this week, I was like, now is the time. I saw the Fossil and Bone shawl. I'm trying to like be clever and bring it up. But life is just, it's fighting me. It's the Fossil and Bone shawl. And it is written, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it is written for Aran weight. And it is this cream colored, in the picture, obviously, use whatever yarn you want. That's how this works. But in the picture, it's a cream colored yarn. And anyway, for some reason, I was like, yes, I must knit the bulky lace. When does that ever happen? When are you like, yes, that's what must happen right now? I don't know. But it happened right now, and I had to do it immediately. So I cast on for the shawl, and I am knitting it on a US 9, which is crazy. It's so fun. They're gigantic. And it's called Fossil and Bone. I know, I'm sorry. And it's by Sylvia Bobilvia. Sylvia Bobilvia. Isn't that wonderful? It looks like this. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. That was like a lot of me talking. Drink. It's so pretty. So, I don't know. Sometimes it just happens where you're like, yes. And so I'm not entirely sure that this was a sane move at all, but it's very enjoyable to work on. And I can always give it to my mama because she likes everything. So here it is so far. I just have a triangle. Pink. It looks like that. I know, sometimes, I think bulky lace, it just becomes all about the negative space, which you can't really tell because my background is not the right color. I mean, no, the head doesn't work either. I was just like, oh yes, that is attractive in my mind for today. And I just love this yarn so much. It's so round and so plump. Wonderful. Doing it exactly as written. There's nups and everything. It's madness in here. And then one more thing. I know, right? One more thing, I promise. So the last thing I have to show you is a hat that I've just started. And it is for my little person because I needed a quickie project. I know, right? All of these one full big skein were just too much. I needed a faster project even. And I bought some yarn for it. I don't know why I couldn't help it. It is called the Spice Road Cap. Now, it looks kind of crazy. I'm not going to deny that it looks crazy. But I think it will be very fetching on my child. I could be wrong. But I think it's going to look darling on her. So it's by Tech Knitting. And it's got a really weird construction. You knit it side to side and you seam it. It's nuts. It's nutty. But it's like a good amount of nutty. It's like, you don't have to keep looking at the pattern. You're like, oh, that's the crazy that's going to happen. I'm on board. And then you just get your ticket and you ride the train. So I bought this. Knitting in color. I know I'm going SSK, right? I'm going to see. I couldn't wait. So Knitting in color. This is her Dubstep DK. It's 100% superwash merino, and it's in the Nebula colorway. Now, these are like those, Knitting in color is one of those yarns. Malia, and I have another skein that I may have just started a toe on. Malia, rhymes with Maria, of the Yarn Raising podcast, was knitting on a sock, and I was like, dude, what is that? That is so, I specifically said, that is so fun. And she was like, oh, it's from Knitting in Color. It's the Ain't It Fun colorway. And I was like, shut up. She showed me this cake, and I would have never picked it out in a million years. Not that it was unattractive, it just did not. I was just like, that's fine, that's nice. It is awesome in the sock. It's so cool and crazy. So I may have bought that too. But this is the same way. She showed the skein of this in her Instagram feed, and I was like, that's nice. Didn't ring any of my bells. I was like, I'm good. And then she showed it knit up in something, and I was like, dude, must have. Curse talented people. But it's a little crazy for me. Maybe not. But I was like, that would be perfect for my kid because she is in love with purple. So anyway, this is crazy, not a Klein bottle, but could be hat. You knit it sideways and you steam it up, and like it's a whole thing. But look, it's so fun. Isn't that great? Ah! It's like all Monet looking.
So anyway, it's super fun. So this pattern just uses short rows, and you can make this thing, you seam it up, and then and you put a welt in it, and then it's the whole thing. It's gonna be fun. So I just cast on this morning. I needed a quick project. Yay! Oh, and so this is DK. The pattern does call for worsted. However, I am not adjusting the pattern anyway because it is for my kid who, like, you can adjust the circumference by just adding more short rows. So it should be fine. And I don't think it needs to be any taller because she's still a little person. Even if she has a bigger head circumference, her head is not still as tall. How to explain it? That's my theory. I'm just going to go with it. If it's too short, it's too short. Make another one. It'll be fine. Enjoy it twice. Okay, so that's finally all the things I need to talk about. It's been a crazy work here. Been a crazy couple of weeks here. I just must cast on all the things. Poor sweater is just lying in a bucket. Sorry, sweater. Anyway. I am going to be at the Knitting Pipeline Retreat. That is March 13th and 14th in Washington, Illinois. I will be vending there. Yay, that. So I'll see all of your beautiful faces if you're going. There will not be a shop update until after that retreat. So I'm tentatively saying that it's going to be March 20th, but I might actually do it earlier that week because it will actually be bags that I've sewn up in preparation for the retreat and then just bring home. So I might do it a little bit earlier than the 20th, but it'll be that week sometime. I'll keep you posted. Hi, it's like a month away. Not even. I'll let you know, basically. By the way, speaking of that, I do want to say a really great big, humongous, fat and fluffy thank you to everybody for letting me have this really awesome job. This week has been snow. There's been delays because of weather. We've not had any snow days, but the little person was sick one day. We've had she's fine now. She really wasn't that sick. She was sick at 8 a.m. It was fine at 9:30. I knew it was gonna happen. It was like that question of like, the kid is like all snotty. She'd been snotty for a few days and she was fine. She was totally bounced around crazy style, but she had like that whole mucus thing happening. And so when she gets like that, when you get like that, you feel like, ugh. And she sounded like all like kind of wheezy because of it. She was fine, but she sounded pitiful. So then of course we had Monday off because of President's Day. So Tuesday when it was time to go to school, she was all like, she was too sick to go to school. And I was like, dude, I know you are going to be fine in 20 minutes. But if I send you to school and you have it in your head that you are sick because her stomach hurt, I told her, I tried to explain to her psychosomatic symptoms, but yeah, that was not happening. But I knew if I sent her to school and she had that like congestion and she was all wheezy and she got to school, she was going to get sick just from being upset because she had to go to school. Do you know what I mean? So she was totally fine. Anyway, she's fine. But that combined with like, we've had some delays because of extreme wind chills and stuff. So between those things, thank you so much. Thank you so much for allowing me to have a job that I can do and still juggle that. Deeply appreciative. Kiss your faces. Anyway, I think that's actually all now. I'll talk next week.